crazy, godly orchestration through some friends that came from Rwanda, to Coquitlam, and Hong Kong was involved in there as well. So it's been a wild ride getting to know them, and super blessed by that. But I've come into Willingdon to help lead the Pure Desire group, and that has been extremely humbling. I struggled with pornography for 14 years of my life. Unfortunately, struggled as a single man, and a dating man, an engaged man, and a married man. And I just remember telling my wife 2 months into marriage about how bad it was, and it's the absolute worst day of my life. And I would never wish that upon anybody, but every time I hear about God's redemption, it just reminds me of my story, or anybody that I know struggling with pornography or masturbation, or as far as it could go. And it's such a reminder that I was reading Ephesians 1:14 today, and it's this beautiful picture that God predestined all of us, and that we can't work for any of His goodness. And it just reminds me that I'm part of the body, no matter how much I struggled, or no matter how many times we've failed, if it's pornography or alcohol or whatever it may be, divorce. But yeah, so I struggled for 14 years, so really dating back, I saw porn at 10. It was a friend's house, his dad had some magazines in the closet, and that's how quickly it can happen. So I know a lot of times people aren't quite aware, but it happens so fast at a young age. I remember seeing this magazine and just instantly trying to find anything I could on the computer. I tried to hide everything I could. It was just this life of secrecy at like 12, 13 years old. It's just crazy. But deleting history and trying to find friends where their older brother would watch porn and get around them as much as I could. So it really started so young, and that went into high school, and that just really affected who I was. I wasn't a Christian, so that was a big part of my story, really blaming God a lot and asking why me all the time. And then I came to a point in life where I met some Christians, and I thought they were really weird. I didn't really understand what they were talking about. This Jesus guy and all this good things. I grew up in Catholic church, and I didn't hear anybody excited about Jesus very often. My mom was never overly excited, so I just didn't really understand it all. But I just saw the way they lived. They went through trials differently, and I didn't hear about pornography struggles or people being excited about pornography. So that's really when Christ came into my life. I got baptized, I guess 4 years ago now, and I wish I could tell you guys that changed everything, but sometimes prayer and believing in Jesus just doesn't heal in the way that when your brain is so programmed to something, there's something deeper, and that's really maybe why Richard wanted me to share a bit is these programs like Pure Desire and getting around communities. It goes so much deeper when we're dealing with pornography addiction or something along those lines. You really have to start looking into what Christ has done, but also what's going on in the brain. And really with pornography, the way that dopamine changes and the sensors in your brain change, it is scary stuff. So a lot of times people in the church will just say, we'll pray about it, or what sin did you do to be stuck in that? And there's all these stigmas, but I'm so grateful for Richard and Pure Desire and some of the programs that I've been able to take. Celebrate Recovery was a big part of my story. But just to kind of go back to marriage really quick, I told my wife 2 months into marriage that I was really struggling, and it wasn't until another 6 months that I actually decided to quit. So really what happened in that time frame was I just started slowly looking into the cross more. And one thing that really affected me was I never understood the cross. And it's just such a beautiful story of redemption, and there's no shame or condemnation. And when you're struggling in addiction, you just feel like the worst person. You feel so shamed and guilty. And it's because we usually look inside, or we're letting the enemy attack us in major ways. But when we just look to the cross. If I can just encourage anybody tonight who's struggling with anything, just keep your eye on the cross and realize there's people that want to be in your life. But today I'm 15 months clean. I was able to say no to porn for good on my 25th birthday, which was 15 months ago. And the changes have been radical, just radical. I got to preach at my church a few weeks ago. Just the doors that open when you say yes to freedom that Christ offers you. It is so mind-blowing. My wife and I have seen such rewards and results. We've just seen God working in such mighty ways in the way we look at each other. I think every married couple would like to have that giggle back, and it's just really cool to laugh and have intimacy and not hide things. It's really special, and Christ has just redeemed us in such a mighty way, because we both struggled in many times of our life. And I remember when I met her, it's such a life-changing moment when you meet your potential wife-to-be, and there's things inside that you just don't really want to share, so you kind of hide them as long as you can. But God, I just love when it says that God uses the foolish things to shame the wise. I thought I was so smart hiding all these things and all these secrets I had. She'll never find out, and bam, He makes a way, and it sucked. It was not fun, but yeah, 15 months clean today. What God has really done in our lives is, earlier this year we were able to actually start a company that we are fighting this cause alongside guys like Richard at Pure Desire. We've been helping lead here at Willingdon, seeing transformation happen in the body of Christ. We're just so thankful that Willingdon is willing to offer this. Like, Richard and Willie have sewed into me so much, brought me down to Portland for a men's conference. I'm just so grateful that the body of Christ is willing to talk about these topics, because I know there's not a lot of churches doing that. And I would just pray that more people would come to the table for prayer and healing, knowing that it doesn't have to be this everyday thing. It could be once a month, and it's just, in your heart it's not right. So yeah, we've been able to start a company called Secret Habit that is helping men and women that are struggling with porn addiction. Obviously, knowing Richard and his story and whatnot has really encouraged me to just know the transformation is mind-boggling, and we're just excited to see what happens with Willingdon. This year, the Pure Desire group is wrapping up in February, I think it is, so we're just excited to see a new group of leaders and to see more healing. My wife and I are actually moving to Halifax in the summer, so we're really excited to see what God has in that. Huge leap of faith, and we just see something big there. We're excited to bring Pure Desire out that way. And just know that you guys have inspired me to bring this into your church, so we're excited to see what other churches are hungry for healing. And we just ask you guys to pray for that. It doesn't have to be us specifically, but just the city of Halifax and Nova Scotia would have a movement of healing. Because we know there's a lot of hurting out there, and it's hurting everywhere. But we've just seen stats there. It was the #1 marijuana sales on day one in this small little city. So just wanted to put a plug in there for prayer. We know that this doesn't happen on our own strength. So we're just super grateful. Thanks for the opportunity, Richard, to share. God is good, and we all know we're not perfect. And the moment we realize that, we can then enter these programs and really get true healing. So I'm super blessed to have the opportunity to share. Thanks so much for listening.